here with the Weekend Run Club. How did you guys come together?
Ooh, Mitchell, take it away.
Mitchell, take it away, yeah.
I met the person I started the band with, who is a former member. We met on Facebook, just jammed a little bit. It was my first time doing anything that was like contemporary or like commercial even. I was doing a lot of theater and classical stuff, which it's been like almost 4 years since I met him. So the band, I would say, is closer to 3 years old, but we started writing some stuff just to see if we'd click. And then slowly over that year, we added Bridget and Joey and Ralph, who is our former bass player. Now we have Haley. And then just as things evolved over time, we started writing more together. Now we have Ryan on guitars with Joey as well. So we're starting to like create our own lore, I guess.
Yeah, the superstition behind it all. Yeah, I when Mitchell kind of had some demos going for the band, I saw him post just like on a Facebook page, believe it or not, on a Facebook group. So really, we owe our whole existence to Mark Zuckerberg in a way.
The Zuck.
Do.
Yeah, dude, the
Zuck.
It was good. Bridget, you go ahead.
Yeah, I just really liked what I heard. I was like, I feel like this just has a lot of promise. I was looking for a new band to drum in, and I was like, you know what? I have really no idea what to expect, but I want to jam, so I'm just going to put myself out there. And it ended up working out pretty well, I would say.
And you know me from Facebook.
Yeah, and I know Haley from Dude, that's so funny. I met Haley on Facebook too. It's just like one of those things where I feel when you're not like in college anymore and you're not really in such a structured environment, you kind of have to get more creative as to how you meet, local musicians and things like that. So worked for us. And homies for life. Yeah.
Good. Well, how many albums do you have out at this point? I know Zoo's the full length.
Yeah, we got the full length Zoo. We have an EP called Okay For You. And is that it, everybody?
Well,
and
we're
our
cooking.
Secret album that's coming. We're working on.
No, we're cooking a single.
We cooked. We have cooked a single.
Yeah, it's ready to go. It's fresh. To be announced kind of a little bit later, but it will be part of a compilation album.
Yeah,
and
a really
we're really
awesome
happy about it. Yeah, it was our first single working with Ryan, our new member, a little bit, and we're going to work with him even more as time goes on. But we're really just, excited to start writing again in this kind of new arrangements and, figure out how to evolve our sound. So we're just really excited for everything that can come next. Of course, hoping that, the world gets safer and safer with vaccines and everything. We're just kind of crossing our fingers and hoping for the best.
See, is everybody vaccinated?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Totally none of my business. I'm not yet. I will be. I will be Thursday.
Yes, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yes. We are pro-vax.
Oh, I'm really not. I'm weird. I'm not either way. I'm not a flat earther. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just kind of lazy, I guess. I just haven't got it done.
I'm a flat vaxxer.
A flat
vaxxer.
Yeah.
No, respect though.
How do you describe the music you make?
Ooh, it's a good one.
Like a little bit indie, a little bit dancey.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say a good time.
Someone changed their Instagram to Power Pop. Whoever did that, I feel it's a good vibe. I like it.
Yeah, that was me. I think as I started like kind of pitching us more again and really figuring out, the shows that we want to open for, kind of making our name out there. I kind of want to have like a good picture of what genre we are, but it's kind of tricky with us because we kind of go a couple different ways. So I kind of settled on like indie alt power poppers somewhere,
Well, also, how would we like describe our music that's like not just genre? Like, how would you describe it to like?
I would think it's a good time. Live shows for us are really the chance that we kind of get to show, the intricacies of each song and kind of really develop what we've put out before. So the live set, we definitely always like want to get people moving and just have a good time in general.
Yeah, we want that energy and
like
I feel like we really try to get people participating and like involved and interactive just because I feel like when you can let go and really lose yourself to like a group group
Lose
setting.
yourself in the moment, you know.
Yeah.
it.
Music, you know it.
Basically, Eminem said it all. Haley reiterated it for you.
Yeah, basically.
Is there? Do you have a particular creative process, or does
We
it
all
just?
do different stuff.
Kind of got messed up in the pandemic, but usually we would just like kind of start jamming if anybody had an idea and kind of see where that led. But throughout the pandemic, we've been more like trying to share files, and that's been kind of unnatural and weird for us. But it's been interesting to test it in a new way.
Mm-hmm.
It's been cool to like let everyone kind of like settle into like how to come up with new ideas too, because like a former member wrote really fast, and like we would always just have something new to work on, whereas now we each have like little things or ideas that we'll pitch that we'll kind of come up with on our own in time, and just like we write a lot of scraps and shells of songs, or like particular bit. I write a lot of like particular lyrics, and then I just wait for someone to come around with stuff that kind of clicks with it, and kind of like puzzle piece it over time.
Yeah, I don't know that there's ever really been like a uniform or standard way that we do it. I feel like, and maybe that's just because it's a preference of mine, but I feel like it can really start wherever, from, even a riff, or maybe even just like an idea of some words that Mitchell really wants to use or something like that. But, if we all can kind of get together over, one idea and just like figure out where should this go, where is this coming from? That's always kind of fun to kind of figure out like if the song can write itself or not.
Yeah,
Like,
the spontaneity is key.
Yeah.
Where
Haley,
did
what were you
it-
gonna say?
I was gonna say, where did it come from? Where did it go?
Yeah, Cotton Eye Joe, exactly.
Lots of good references here.
It all started in 6th grade square dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, it all started back then.
I believe that for you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's an awakening.
Where all have you played at this point?
Oh man, where haven't we played? No, I'm just kidding. We really like the venues in Chicago, the local venues.
Yeah.
Kind of the 300 cap and under stuff is where we like to play for obvious reasons.
We can fill those
We'd
boys
like
in
to play
with
bigger
help.
ones.
Yeah, we love to play the really small venues for no other reason. United Center, everything like that. But outside of Chicago and the suburbs as well, where a lot of us are from, we've been to Indiana. We've been where else, guys? Pennsylvania,
Ohio.
Ohio. We've been kind of out east and back for a little run, but this upcoming tour is going to be the longest one yet that we're super super stoked for.
I'm so excited.
Is it
Yeah,
like
we'll
a
be coming-
30 Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, it's totally fine. It's gonna be I think 10 or 11 days total.
Yeah.
Love to go to 30 days at some point, but unfortunately we all do
man,
have
yeah.
to have jobs.
The 30 days is
Yeah.
that would be like, that's a sign.
It's the
That's like,
dream,
you're
dude.
doing it. You're just doing
Yeah.
it.
I'm
Yeah,
really
but-
excited to play Nashville though on this upcoming
Yeah.
tour. And Louisville will be
Nashville
fun.
and Cleveland, or is it Cleveland or Columbus? They were playing?
Cleveland.
Whatever the team, well, I don't know if it's announced, but we're playing a show with a band we really, really, really like. That's
Nice
really
save.
cool.
Well,
So
Yeah.
Where did you get a show at in Cleveland? Or you,
Well, I won't say the specific date or the people we're playing with, but it'll be at a place called Mahal's.
except they have
Um,
bowling there.
Bowling alleys
Bowling.
there.
See
Very
me.
stoked for
See me
that.
in the lanes. Come out
Yeah,
to the
we'll
show.
see you out in the lanes, man.
See me in the lanes, man.
Yeah, super stoked for Louisville. We've gone to a lot of new cities we've never been to before, and just excited to make a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And just hang out, man.
And just hang out, like get closer, like who knows? Like I don't know. It's like
Possibilities are endless.
Truly.
yeah. Get to know like Ryan even better, which is really exciting.
And ourselves.
Yeah. Like who is Bridget?
Don't ask me that. I don't know.
where did you find a play at in Nashville? I saw your post. I don't know, it was a couple of days ago, I think.
That one I'm so close to closing in. I have a second hold at a certain venue that I'm really hoping locks in, but I'm still kind of scoping the area in case that doesn't come through. So TBD. But everything
Bridget-
else is pretty much booked.
Bridget does all the tour booking and show management, and she crushes it. So
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
working
wow.
behind
Bridget
the
is very
scenes.
multifaceted, like plays
Like
like
a multi-tour.
25 instruments, manages bands, manages a record
Okay.
label.
Great
Okay.
eyebrows.
Great
Eyebrows.
hat. Just
Great
great
cat.
at things. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. I do have a great cat. Thanks, everyone. That was nice.
You know, it's perfectly acceptable and legal to busk on Broadway on the street in Nashville.
I do know
Is it
that. That will be
really?
our plan C. I think if
We
all
should busk, but not with like music. Like we should just do something completely random and unrelated.
stand-up comedy.
Yeah, stand-up comedy.
I was thinking magic tricks.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
okay.
Nashville's built.
Magic
That's what
comedy.
Nashville's built around. You know, that's what Nashville's all about is busking. You know, it's
Yeah.
not just about country music. That's how Nashville got built. So everybody down there busking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think
I'm
they
excited.
I think they frown on electricity, maybe, but I've seen people down there use electricity. I go down there quite a bit.
Mitchell
Right.
has an acoustic voice.
I was about to say I have an electric voice. I like just power it on.
Yeah.
I just
We'll
put a
try that.
capo on it and then I can sing.
Yeah, but also like, okay, wait, has anyone else like here busked? Because I actually would love to try that sometime.
I actually would love to try that too. So the closest I got to it was when COVID started, and there was a small window of time where they were doing outdoor seating and stuff at restaurants, and it was summer. And I was like, Joey, I've always wanted to like busk or do like some cover gigs just with like songs I like, and we did one, and it went really well. And then we just kind of like had other stuff going on. But I've always thought, how fun would it be to just like busk? I know like there's another Chicago band, and the singer Kelly and Aunt Kelly is the name. I was downtown one day like a few years ago, and I was just walking along with the Magnificent Mile, and I just like ran into her busking, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" And she just does
so
it all
funny.
the time, and I was like, "That sounds so cool to just like grab your
busking
gear."
queen.
She's just a queen in like every way.
Yeah, Rob, have you tried that before? Is that kind of common in Louisville as well?
Well, busking.
Yeah.
It's not in the culture to. Nobody carries cash. I think it's part of it.
Yeah.
You can go
That's
on
true.
the Big Four Bridge. People have been doing it on there, which is a walking bridge. It goes over the Ohio and the river. And
That's cool.
People have been doing it. I know some people that's gone up there and done well, and that might be something you might consider if you get there early that day. I don't know where you're driving from into Louisville.
We're coming straight from Chicago that day. That's like our first date stop. But that sounds like a really pretty area regardless. Have to check it out.
Yeah.
Maybe we could at least walk over it if we have time or something.
Yeah, do a quick busk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me about anything that tourists do in Louisville, I won't. I've never been to Derby. As long as I've never been on the Bell. I don't think I've done anything a tourist does. It's just I just live here.
Right, for sure.
Like the baseball bat factory.
I've not been to the Bats Museum. I've not been there. I've been to a Bats game. I get free tickets all the time.
That's pretty cool. How do you do that?
Well, a guy in my older band, a cover band I worked in for quite a few years. He's head of one of the security companies at the Yum Center, and so usually he'll get tickets to the basketball games. He'll get good tickets to the Bats games and all. And usually it's in a suite. That's
cool.
Clubhouse.
Those are sick.
That's
I love
awesome.
those like random connections.
And I always post, throw those pictures on Instagram stuff. Oh yeah, I'm watching this from a suite, just in case. I'm looking down at the poor people. And
Yeah, you're just a poor person in disguise, but it's like
I am.
Role playing for a day. No, that's awesome. I love like free tickets to anything makes it like so much better. I just can enjoy it so much more knowing that I paid nothing to be here.
You're all from Chicago?
Yeah,
Yep.
Chicago burbs.
Yeah, we're all from the burbs. Although the three of us live in Chicago now.
Yeah.
Do you root for the Cubs?
I just went to a Cubs game the other night, but it got rained out.
Did you root for them?
For about 20 minutes, and then it started pouring.
Dude.
I would say I grew up a Sox fan, but really my dad's from Texas, so we were kind of a Rangers house.
Poser.
Yeah, I don't know. Baseball's not really for me.
I grew up as a Sox fan, but only because I had this friend that like I wanted to be him, and he was a Sox fan. You ever had like those friendships when you were a kid, like that person you just that you were so envious of like their life and like everything they had,
They
and
have
I just
pool.
like, yeah, oh my god, don't even get me started on friends that have a pool.
Dude, there definitely comes a point in like a Chicago kid's like journey growing up where you have to pick a team.
Yeah.
And everyone like starts fighting about it.
Even when you don't want to. Like,
yeah, you're like 8 and you're like, I don't know.
Like and you're in a conversation and you're like, oh yeah, totally. Screw them, Cubs in 5th grade. And you're like,
right, exactly. Yeah. Oh, dude. And they're like, who's your favorite player? And you have to like find one really quick. It's like,
yeah, dude, that's why I was like, exactly, Paul Konerko, the only White Sox player I can remember.
Love him. Do you think he's still there? I have no idea.
No, he's so old.
Oh, okay.
Too old for baseball.
When they ask you to pick a favorite player, we just say, I don't know. I only watch live sports. That's what I was. Like I never watch sports on TV, which isn't a dishonest statement. That's true.
Yeah.
But I'll go watch it live because it's fun live. And of course, I like.
That's a good answer.
I like to drink.
Oh yeah. I would totally go to most like sports games. Why not?
Yeah, that's like a 13 minutes from my place. Like this Slugger Field, and
That's funny. They're called.
And the beers aren't, I think, at most stadiums, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
so it's called Slugger Field. It is.
Yeah, very nice.
See, I forgot to say that in the beginning of the episode. I was like, oh, this is Weekend Run Club from Chicago. I usually make sure to say where someone's from.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone. Who doesn't know us by this point? We're a household name.
Some friends of yours have been on this show. I think they're friends of you. I think they're friends of yours. A band called Cloud Houses.
Yeah,
we love Cloud Houses.
They were so fun. I was just doing this.
They're nice.
Yeah, they're great.
They reached out. I made a post in one of maybe the DIY group. Mm-hmm. About when I was just thinking about starting this, and they was like, "Hey, if you do start us, can we be on your show?" I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah!"
Aww.
Pretty much anyone that reaches out to me can be on the show. Basically,
that's Marcus Zuckerberg for the win again.
True. Yeah, their classes are really, really nice, and they have great music.
They do. They have really great music. I love Girlfriend.
Yes.
Like after interviewing that whole next day at work all day long, I was walking. And your girlfriend is pretty.
Dude, it gets stuck in your head.
It was too. But since it is my show, we're going to talk about my favorite song of your guys's, which is "All My Friends Are Dead." Is that correct? Did I say that right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, you did.
So, what's the story behind that song?
That song has the craziest story. You picked a good one first.
Yeah, that's a really good one. It started actually in a car ride on the way home from a show we played in Champaign-Urbana that was the elk walking. That was the show where those someone brought their new golden retriever. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the way home from that, back when Chris was still in the band, he was showing me this demo. It was called Sunset Riders at the time. And it was just a demo that was lingering. And then he wrote some vocals for it. And we had different vibes with it, but just the message, it seemed very at least what he was trying to say was how do I make sense of the world? Coming of age is weird. And what even does it mean to be an adult? Or more specifically, what does it mean to be a man? And it's kind of uncomfy to navigate that sometimes. And then that really resonated with me in terms of just thinking about well, yeah, I'm getting older and I'm an adult now, even though I don't feel like I am. And how do I find my place in the world in a way that's comfortable for me? So we kind of just got on this vibe of talking about toxic masculinity and just how to how frustrating it is when you want to move forward, but the world is 20 steps behind you sometimes. So it kind of became for me at least, it kind of became this kind of queer-esque out or anthem, I guess, just about like marching to your own beat, and the people that can't like get on, can't jive with who you are, like screw them, just keep going and be yourself, and that will draw the real kinds of healthy relationships that you really want.
Well, you forgot that one almost didn't make Zoo.
Right.
It was like a totally different chord progression, and like I think the melody's mostly the same.
Yep.
But Mitchell was really like attached to the like concept, and we were just like, I don't know if we're jiving with how it sounds instrumentally. So they like went and reworked it like 2 days before we went into the studio, and like rewrote the whole song. And then we were like, yeah, I guess. And yeah, it kind of had a mind of its own, and it ended up pretty cool. But
you're right. There was a moment where I was like, I guess like it might just not be on. I do remember actually. I forget so much.
It's so funny how, you know, if you kind of rework some, even like a little part of a song, you can find that like it just suddenly clicks with you. Now that's like one of my favorites to play live. It just like, I don't know. I just like found, I guess, where I wanted to sit in the song, and then it all just kind of came together.
It was like a minor key or something before, wasn't it?
It was just
like weird.
A little bit of a like different progression. Yeah. I think that's like a good ode to like learning how to like just trust your bandmates, and like learning to let go of something even when you feel really strongly about it. And like, I don't know, trying to see like for the greater good, sometimes you have to like just painfully like rip your dreams away.
Okay.
That's so dramatic. No, you didn't even remember it happened.
Hear me out. That's not what actually happened, but that's like how it always feels. Like, you know, when you like really attach to something, maybe you don't have this problem. I have a lot of issues. So if I like get really attached to something and someone's like, let's just change it and make it a little different, my initial reaction is like, oh my God, they hate me. I'm a bad person. They hate my work. They think I'm trash. And like over time, I'm learning to be like a little bit more realistic with the world, and be like, oh, okay, you know what? It's still gonna be a good song. We just gotta we want to make sure everybody's happy with it, because if everybody's happy with it, then it will be good for all of us, and then we can at least enjoy that at the very minimum. But I think it's kind of been shown that when we are all happy with the music we're putting out, other people are happy with it too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you can definitely tell, like, especially when, you know, that's a great example of a song that we all kind of wrote together. And I think you can really see it pay off when we play it live, because we all are really sure of what we're doing and we know that it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love collaborating. I think if I write a song myself, it's going to suck.
Yeah. I feel that same thing.
I feel that too, actually. It's like, it's harder because like, sometimes you get those songs where you're writing together and you wish you could have your way, but then sometimes you're writing by yourself and you just know that the people that you're not writing it with would probably make it so much better than you can already make it. And it's so easy to second guess your own ideas when everything is on you.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I love it and I hate it, like working in a team, because you gotta like trust your team members to the ultimate core, but it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny how someone else can hear something just completely different, and then the way that they take that direction is just like, it will so many times, like, and it's something that Mitchell will add, or really anybody in this band, Haley, they'll just go in a completely different direction. I'm like, that works so well. I never ever would have thought of that.
With the
like, I am so grateful to be in this band. Like, it's just so rewarding.
Me too. With we have a new track that will be coming out, like we mentioned earlier, and that one was, for so long I hated it because I couldn't do anything with it, and Joey had this thing and he liked it, and we revisited it. We kind of changed the key a little bit, and then like I still was second guessing, and then Bridget wrote like a completely different version with like different lyrics and melodies, and I was like, whoa, I never would have seen it going that direction. And then it turns out that like we like put her version of the vocals and like message, and we mixed it with mine, and it like, I would not have it any other way now.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about, in my opinion. I was just like, hey, take the parts of this that you like and forget the ones that don't. Like, I want to know what you see in this. And
yeah, I loved it, dude. It's good. I'm excited.
Hell
for
yeah.
it.
So what is there a particular song that's very personal to you guys?
Yeah,
You
I
guys
think
go
there's
because
just
they're
like
all personal to me.
yeah, there's just like different favorites. I think I don't know, like Casually Dancing and Tired really stand out to me as like some of my favorites to play live.
Mhm.
I really like going from Sometimes into Let's Think Back. I think that was a really fun thing we started doing live that we kind of incorporated into the album.
Yeah. Mitchell writes most of the lyrics, but you know, we are pretty similar people, and so a lot of the times the things that he writes about really strike a chord with me. You know, we have a song called 101, which is about like the therapy experience, which I don't see really a lot in, you know, mainstream music or anything like that. So that one always hits home for me, having gone through the same thing myself. And yeah, anything in regards to, you know, stuff that we're going through, it can be different problems, but you know, so often the feeling is still the same. So yeah, that's how I kind of connect to our music too.
So if you see me writing these down, I'm probably, with y'all's permission, I'll probably add them into the audio episodes.
Yeah, totally.
Add whatever you want.
Okay. I'm not gonna get in trouble with the record company, which you are the record company, I guess.
We are, so you're good.
And throw in the Macarena here.
Yes.
So, take a hike records, I believe, with what I came across in my limited research. I did get some in.
Yes,
you
sir.
Got that right. That was something that me and Bridget started in the pandemic, just because we've been like trying to figure out how to sell merch online for our own stuff. And there's like a lot of like weird loopholes if you want to do it legally. Like you have to like do taxes and stuff, and you have to like set up an LLC, and it just was like increasingly frustrating. And we thought like, if we set it up as a label, we could do this for a bunch of people through us, so nobody else has to like figure out how to do this, and we could just pay people out as like independent contractors, basically. So
yeah,
it was like a big mind puzzle, and it took some time to figure out, but it was a good project for quarantine, and I'm glad we did it. So
yeah, there's already enough you kind of have to be thinking about and concentrating on as a band, and it's like, you know, especially with our friends in the area, like we would love to just put your merch on our site and we'll help you get it out there. Because like, gosh, there's so much still confusing things we're just kind of struggling through as it comes up, but we're learning day by day and we have a pretty good handle on it now. So yeah, it's been fun. No regrets.
Cool, man.
No regrets.
What is your favorite show you played?
Chop Shop. We played a gig at a place called Chop Shop, and it has like a butcher shop in the front. And in the back, it's this big stage. And we played there twice now. And it's, I think both times been very, very awesome.
Yeah, that's always cool when you can go to a venue that does lights for you. I feel like as a local band, that's super rare. And so when it does, it's just like you feel like you're playing the biggest arena in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we have a light show, you know? But we've played a couple sold out. The times that we sold out shows were just such a thrill. We played a sold out show at Beat Kitchen, which is a local venue in Chicago. It's like 300 cap or so, and that was just so magical. At the end of the set, we actually all switched instruments for our last song, and just stuff like that keeps things so interesting and fun for, I feel, both us and the audience. So that would be mine.
Yeah, I will say that Chop Shop show was magical. The Beat Kitchen one was cool because we had this big, like, it was a release show, so we like had a lot of interactive stuff with the other bands, and we actually took time to get to know them, and like we met up and did promo stuff, and like we had like all the vocalists got together and did a collab in the audience acoustically, which was really fun. And I just feel like
there was so much happening.
We really like honed in on like, let's make this an experience for everybody, instead of like, all right, your fans come for your show, then they leave, and our fans come for our show, and then they leave. So that was like a very magical night. But I would say that and Chop Shop. And then also we played a really fun house show in Michigan, in Kalamazoo, on one of our tours. That was like in someone's basement, and it was just packed, and it just, I felt the love. It was very intimate, and just the energy was very wholesome and positive.
I got another one. I got to bring up the one in South Bend.
I thought of that one too, yeah.
Because we played in South Bend, and we got to open for Flint Eastwood, who I think now they go by Jax. But that was, they like set us up in a hotel. they like
That
gave
was
us
true.
free food and drinks. And
That's
we
my
just,
favorite
like,
and least favorite show we ever played because I blew my voice out and it was my first time playing
a lot
outside.
went wrong.
A lot went
forgot
wrong,
all of my
but-
pedals.
But it was still the best day because we went whitewater rafting and like we just
Yeah.
made a whole
We
day
like
out
did
of it.
events, and then we like partied at this hotel they got for us. It just like felt like we were doing the real thing. It was
Yeah.
Living the big time, baby.
Yeah.
Well, here's the counter question, probably my favorite. Which is your least favorite show?
Ooh, I gotta think about that.
I'll go first because
Yeah.
I actually recently answered this
Oh,
question.
he's
That
got
was an
ready.
answer.
It's that one I just said because it was really I was so happy to be there and it felt so official and so like professional and I felt so I went to my hotel and cried afterwards. It was rough, but
Every
just 'cause
party.
and then it was all okay and it was still a great day, but like I felt embarrassed because something went wrong. I was tired or something I had eaten wasn't sitting with me right, and I just felt embarrassed that like I didn't do what I thought was my best. But then the other show is when we played, I think it was Moe's Tavern. This person I was like crushing on a lot said that they were going to come to the show, and then they just ghosted and never showed up. And I spent like the whole set like
Thinking about it.
waiting for them to walk in and hoping that they would walk in, and it was just like a very non-centered, disappointing.
That place
evening.
is funny because it's like a Simpsons themed bar, but they don't have the licensing.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
like everything's a little bit
it's
weird.
like bootleg.
I love it.
Yeah, they have like a off-brand Simpsons family painted on the wall. Like they're just a little bit different. It's still
Yeah.
called Moe's Tavern. So like, who are we kidding here?
Yeah.
My answer would have to be I won't name the venue. It's not important, but I set up a show in Milwaukee one time, and the communication with the promoter, the venue was pretty normal. So I figured, I would have someone to, just like connect with on the day of the show, right when we come in, like where do we set up, et cetera, et cetera. We get to the venue and nobody that I contacted is even there. There's like a bartender or two. I tried like asking, hey, like, is there, who do I talk to here, right? And they're just like, oh yeah, I don't think they're here today. Go on and I guess you could just, go to the back room. So we had to like figure out the sound system and set up everything ourselves, which I was just not expecting at all. Like we literally, like I was like, should I take money at the door? Because like no one is working the show. So that was quite a trip from beginning to end, but we pulled it off and people came. I mean, it's not like no one came. So I always consider that a win. But it was it's interesting when you have a DIY show in a venue because it's like, there should be someone here, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's not.
Highlights of that show was there was a dog, a guy walking around offering people raw hot dogs. And we got some great Snapchats out of it.
It's true.
Sorry, go ahead, Haley.
I was gonna say, we played this house show that was just like, the show itself wasn't that bad, but the venue was just like a dark hole of a basement with no lights, and it was like so musty smelling, and like you had to watch out for pipes, like you're gonna hit your head on a pipe, and I don't know. I was like, that's the most I ever was like, oh, we're gonna get murdered. Playing.
Was that
Can't
the one?
Can't win them all, folks.
The one by
That's
Susan
when-
Village?
Yeah,
Okay.
the show itself was great. I had fun. but
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
weird.
the fans that came for one of the bands were like really rowdy too, and like put a hole in the wall somewhere. It was not good for like the people that own the DIY show were like, we're never doing this again. This is a horrible idea.
Yeah.
And then cue us bowing. Thank you.
We didn't do
We
it.
live to serve. We didn't. We did it by proxy.
By proxy.
But yeah.
That'd be. Whew.
Yeah.
Somebody
I know.
knocked a hole in the wall.
I know.
We've had some weird times.
Yeah.
Oh, elaborate. That's what this show's about. Weird times.
Weird times.
Yeah, dude. I mean, for our first EP release, I had set it up with
Oh
my
yeah.
cat here. Hello.
Scout!
My
He's
cat's here.
famous.
Dude, it was the first EP release and my first show with the band.
Yep.
Awesome. Great start. The thing about, I feel like it just, time is really half the battle when it comes to bands because like you just have to like start playing places to know what they are, or else you're never going to
Mhm.
know like what the good venues are, what the bad ones are. So that's how I rationalize my day to day. But no, we had booked a show a while away. It was in the suburbs because we at the time were all living there, and it was our EP release show. So obviously it was a really big deal. We were all hyped for it. And again, I had, been in contact with somebody. It seemed like everything was going well. I always reach back out to confirm, make sure there's no, do as much as possible to make sure that you're not blindsided by anything that could come, right? So we pull up to the venue. The lights are dark. The doors are locked. Bad sign. We pull up, kind of investigate what's going on. It seems like it's just completely dead, shuttered. I try contacting the person that I had been in touch with. He says, "Oh, no, that's weird. Like I had told the owner, blah, 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 blah." Apparently he tried calling the owner. The owner didn't pick up. I tried calling directly. No answer. We weren't able to get in touch with the owner at all. It just turns out he had forgotten. So
we were in the
forgotten.
parking lot with like the other band that showed up, and we like went to a burrito place and tried to like last minute figure out what we're gonna do.
We had like a half hour to spare. I'm just going through every contact in my phone and thinking about anyone who could have any sort of connection to a space. I get to somebody named John who runs a venue in my hometown, which is at that point like 45 minutes away, but better something than nothing, right? You'd rather have a show than not a show, right? So I call him up. He says, I'm happy to have you. Just come on down. I'll figure out a door person for you. So we all jet down the highway at like 80 miles an hour, texting everyone that we know.
We were like calling everybody.
Change your plans. I'm like driving with one hand, like trying to post on our social media of like the show's moved. Because it's like doors open in half an hour. Like we're barely even getting there on time. We ended up making it. I don't think anyone went to the wrong location. I hope to God. And the show was a blast.
People did, but like they already knew, like they didn't like miss the show. Like they got quite a few people that were like, "I'm almost there." I'm like, "Oh, not anymore." Just kidding.
Yeah. You got to turn around. Yeah, some people did have to turn around, but for what it was, we pulled it off. We had a great night. A lot of people.
It was pretty full.
It was a good turnout.
Everybody got to play. It was.
And the only thing I could ask for was that people could still come, because I mean that was just such a quick left turn, but we made it out alive.
So, as far as Chicago bands, who do you like to share a stage with? And this is when I'm poaching. I'm poaching other bands to contact to be on the show.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely, dude.
I think one of my favorites is we toured with this band Teaminade from Ohio, and we did like a couple days run in a row with them, and it just to like get to know them better and see their show every night was really fun.
What's it called?
Teaminade.
They are from Ohio, but they're amazing. Still highly recommend them. As far as Chicago goes, we've shared the stage with so many cool people. Man, who comes to mind? Aunt Kelly that we mentioned earlier.
Aunt Kelly, August
Super
Hotel.
Super Kick.
Yeah.
They're in St. Louis now, but they are from here.
August Hotel and
Violet Crime, Splits.
Oh, Sunday Cruise.
Love Sunday Cruise.
They're good.
Oh my gosh, they're popping off.
They're popping up lately. They are huge now.
We got a show coming up with a band called Guardrail. They're really good. They describe themselves as diet punk, which is funny.
Calico Loco.
Oh yeah, we have that coming up. They're really cool.
They're cool.
We'd love to play with Friday Palettes Club someday. It's like my goal. Dude. They're awesome.
Yeah. So that's just a handful, but there's so much talent here. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Who would you like to collaborate with?
Ooh.
Other than yourselves, of course.
I love this question because like collabing is so cool, and it's like I collabed with Hornbill out in Utah. I did guest vocals, which are like not what I would usually sing. They're like hard punk vocals, which I got to like explore that, and that's on one of their songs on their upcoming album that'll be out this year, next year, I think. As a band,
pretty much like if anybody reached out, I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Just to like challenge how you look at a song. I don't know.
We've done a few like cover collabs with Eva from August Hotel, which was really fun. With Jeff from Violet Crime. With Kylie from Mild West.
Right, that's right. Yeah, that's another good local band. Is the Mild West. They are also popping off.
Yeah, there's a few vocalists that if they like ever for some reason like just reached out and were like, "Yo, can I be on this?" I'd be like, "Yes, please, please, please."
Yeah.
So
yeah, and
like,
speaking of Friday Pilots Club, it's funny because we actually did get one of their members to mix our upcoming song, which was
yeah.
like,
So yeah, that is kind of a collab.
we couldn't believe how easy it was to kind of get a hold of him and be like, "Are you interested?" And he was like, "Absolutely." We were like, "Oh, cool." You know, it was very easy. And then a member of the band Capital Soiree mastered that
Mhm.
track as well. So
They're good too.
you never know who like is actually in reach that you might think is out of
Yeah.
reach. You know, a lot of people are still in the same boat you're in, even if they might have like a bunch more people coming to their shows. You know, I think everyone more or less starts in the same place, and everyone remembers, you know, the road they took to get there. So
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
cool,
been
like,
really cool.
Money.
reaching out, learning. Like I like try to be careful because I can come across like overly friendly at times. But like, so like sometimes all it takes is just like reaching out, and a band that's like, you know, your size or just like kind of similar vibes. All you gotta do is be like, hey, I love your stuff. If you ever want to like do something,
Yeah.
let's do it. That's kind of how the cover projects worked. I just wanted to try and foster some relationships and get to know some of the other artists, because we spend so much time together, and then you go to the shows and it's fun, but like if you don't always have time to bond with the other bands or like get to know them, and
Mhm.
it can be kind of awkward. So like, but in
Yeah.
time you meet. We went to that the Splits and the why am I blanking on their name? Pink Squeeze.
Like squeeze, yeah.
Love
When we saw them,
them.
we saw like I saw at least 5 people from 5 different bands that we all have crossed paths with at some point, or that we will be in the future. And I thought
Mhm.
that was really cool, just to kind of like, it's like my peers and my friends. They're also my
Yeah.
music neighbors.
friends. Yeah, dude. It's
Yeah.
a very supportive community. And I think especially during quarantine, that was really the perfect time to just hit some people up because we were so bored. we couldn't get together and practice and write as usual. And I think that we didn't waste that time either. We like got closer with everybody. We, you know, wrote with people. We did covers with people. We tried our best to just have stuff going despite the world being so locked down. And yeah, it's just a really cool little community that we found ourselves in here. I feel really fortunate.
All right. Here's a fun question.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first album you bought with your, or CD or whatever you bought with your own money, that you listened to and threw it out the window immediately?
Oh.
I have one. Okay. This is so do y'all have a store called Disc Replay where you're from, Rob?
I think so. I don't know there's one here, but I know about Disc Replay.
Okay.
Other places I've lived.
So I went to a Disc Replay with my friend Steven when he was home from college, and we saw this, like, it was like Green Day lullabies, and we thought it was like the entire album like sung as like lullabies. We thought it was a cover album, so we bought it so quick, and it was just a freaking glockenspiel the entire time of just
my
the melody
God.
of the vocals.
I know what you're
And so it was
talking
like-
about.
How dare you know what I'm talking about?
That sounds kind of sick, actually.
So it's just
It's
like
very nice.
It's just like melodies on a glockenspiel of like Green Day, and we were so disappointed.
Is it put
That
out by
we-
Green Day?
No,
it's
No
just some
affiliate.
random
Green Day
person just
lullabies.
playing it on a keyboard. I don't know why you would get that.
I think that's the only time I've ever like bought something and then gotten rid of it.
Go ahead.
I got one by this band called Man Man because I liked one of their songs. So I just went and bought the record when I saw it out at a FYE or something. And it was just like pirate shanties and like just not. It's just like it was a really weird, like conceptual pirate type album. And I just was
You don't
really
get it,
thrown off by
man.
it.
You don't
You're
get
not
it, maybe.
ready.
I just was like, oh. I think I still have it. I just I don't listen to it because why would I need this?
You're not ready for Man Man, dude.
No, I'm not.
I don't know if I ever threw anything out the window once I had money, but before I had money, I would get CDs at the library, and I liked most of what I found. When I was that age, I was in middle school, high school, trying to figure out what's the extent of like what I like and what I don't like, right? There's so many genres at that point you've never even heard. And so I had a lot of friends that were into kind of a little bit harder music with a little bit more screams. And I had a couple bands that I really liked with screams. some of my friends were even, more hardcore than that. So I tried out a CD from the library from a band called Asking Alexandria.
Oh,
And that's how I knew my limit. I was like, I don't like this. He just sounds really mad.
you don't have enough testosterone rage.
I guess not. That was my limit. I was like, I don't think I can do this much mad. I'm just not that mad. So that would have to be mine.
Oh, I think you're muted.
Yes, you are.
Oh.
You're muted.
Oh, I was. Yeah, every time I hit the vape. Is there a particular producer you would love to work with?
Honestly,
Ace Enders has done a lot of cool stuff for both a band I like called the Wonder Years and a band I like called Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties. And it's just that kind of one of those household names that you don't realize has been behind so many amazing records. There are a lot more people than that, but I always kind of forget the names until I look it up again. But like a lot of the modern albums that I've listened to like have usually been done at like one or two of the same studios. Electrical Audio here in downtown Chicago is one that sticks out. I have a band that I like called Hippocampus that recorded there one time. Our friends Beach Bunny also recorded there. And so I think there are a couple of different producers there, but they all do such an amazing job. Like everything I've heard out of there is great. So I would say anyone from Electrical Audio for me.
Yeah, maybe if I get enough cash.
And I'll interject, Beach Bunny, if you're watching, if you see this video, I have reached out to you, and I really like to have you on it.
They're on top of the world.
I have reached out to them. I'm hoping to hear back from them. A band called Terra Terra. I'm trying to lock in a date with them.
We love them. I actually know one of my friends is dating someone who's in that band, and I found that out after we played the show with them.
Oh, they're cool, yeah.
I would say John Feldman just is it's such a stretch, but like he's done so much cool stuff with The Used.
Oh yes.
And
legendary.
whoever produced Pierce the Veil's first like 2 albums, the production on that. Go listen. Okay, it's so good. It's the production is so good.
I don't need to go listen. I know those
Bridget is burnt into Bridget's brain. It is burned into my brain. And if I'm going to take substances, that is my choice of listening.
This is past my limits.
So funny. Haley, did you say one yet?
I don't know. I think for me, that's kind of something that, like, when we get to that stage is something I look more into, because it's like, who can we reasonably afford? Who would be a dream? Like, what fits our sound best? And honestly, working with Drew from Friday Pilots was pretty cool, because that's been something we've been trying to nail down for a while.
I was gonna say that anyone that I go finish. I'm talking. I was gonna say anyone that knows a lot about like vocal engineering. I'm really curious about, mostly not necessarily just for like effects and stuff, but like I want to learn like what are the frequencies in my voice that make me shine. And as I dive more into it, like alone, and I learn a little bit about mixing. It's like I want to know like how can I make myself sound the best, and also how can I make it fit our sound in a way that like kind of defines whatever genre we're in, like sometimes it's just so polished that do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, like 420 kilohertz. Got him.
Hell
you got me.
Audio humor.
Let's see. Lost my place. Damn it. What's the best musical advice you've ever been getting? You've been given.
Yeah, currently getting. Let me think for a second. That's a good question.
I think this actually is a really good one. And it's like the bands that are successful are the bands that just never break up. Like if you just keep going with it, eventually like you're going to get some mild level of success.
True.
Yep.
I think
I like that.
Yeah, it's just like longevity and like sticking to something if you really believe in it.
I would say a professor I had told me not to worry about finishing college back when I was still in school for music, and I didn't finish college, and that like was a huge mental roadblock for me. Feeling like I'd never like amount to anything unless I had like this like one rite of passage, I guess. and getting like the permission to just like forge my own path was really empowering.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly where I read this, but at some point, in my quest to understand anything about this industry, I came across some piece of advice that just really hit home, and it was just like, you get for this profession, you get exactly what you put into it. And like, I think a lot of people, when they release music, kind of expect it to just go somewhere, but there is like so much music uploaded to the internet every day. I mean, it's amazing and also terrible if you also want to do that and stick out, because you have to take it upon yourself to send it to as many people as you can find that give a fuck, which is rare, because obviously there's just so much coming at you all the time, like in general, but also with new music. It's like, taking the time to listen to something. I feel like because of that just like means so much more to me now, more than it ever has. I like realize that it's so oversaturated. And so when I find out that someone actually took the time aside to listen to, our songs, I know it's just 3 minutes, but like the fact that you did that means a lot to me. So just as far as, putting into it, I think I have just kind of, put it upon myself to really pour myself into it. I figured like, yeah, I'm choosing this really unconventional route. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it 110%. That way, whenever I look back, whatever happens, I know that I did absolutely everything I could, no regrets like before.
Girl boss.
Girl bosses. Yep.
You got anything you want to add before we wrap this up? Starting to run out of time here.
Look for our tour announcements. It's coming very soon. October, hint, hint, hint. We will obviously be playing with Rob in Louisville. Very excited for that one.
Yes.
You look out for that single. It'll be coming sometime in the future. Who knows when?
So true.
And follow us on our socials if you want to hear more from our stupid faces. We're at Weekend Run Club on pretty much everything. Hit us up. Say what's good. Follow us. Be our friend.
Right on, guys. Thank you all very much for donating your time to me, man. I hope you had a good time. I did. I'm pretty sure I've tailored this environment on this show to where it's really fun. I'm pretty sure I've almost got it down.
Yeah, dude, this was a blast, man. Thank you so much.
When should I publish it, you think? A couple of weeks before the show?
Sure.
I was thinking about 3 weeks before.
Yeah. That works great. Good promotion.
It'll give me time to edit it and not have to rush editing on the fly. I have to sometimes. So some of the bands going here, yeah, we're leaving for tour tomorrow. Crap.
Oh no. No, I mean, I try to plan things as much as possible. So yeah, take your time, man.
All right. So technically the show's over, but there's two favors I'm going to ask. Yep. One is that you make me a sound bite, which you'll say, this is the Weekend Run Club, and you're tuned in to Undergroundopolis. Whoever, if you want, y'all want to try.
Yeah, do you want us to do that right now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Mitch, take it away. You got a good radio voice.
Okay, what am I saying again?
Dude, this is the Weekend Run Club, and you're listening to Undergroundopolis.
I wanted to get it right. All right, I'm ready when you are. Just give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the Weekend Run Club, and you're listening to Undergroundopolis.
Perfect.
Crushed it.
Now, the second favor. I have a joke of the week segment, so I need a corny joke. The corniest joke you can think of.
Yeah,
go.
Take it away.
Somebody always has one.
Why was this?
Hold on. It's the same format. This is Haley from Weekend Run Club, and here's your joke of the week.
Yes!
This is Haley from the Weekend Run Club, and you're listening to Undergroundopolis, and this is your joke of the week. It's the best one I've got. Why was the sand wet, you guys?
Why?
Because the seaweed.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys again, man. And I'll get, as soon as I get this done, I'll send it to Bridget or to your page or whatever. Guys, please. I'm trying to grow too, so please
Yeah,
share
for
the
sure.
hell out of it. All right.
You
You
know it.
will do, man. Yeah.
Thanks so much for having
All
us.
right.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Good. I
Take
thought
care.
it was fun, man.
Yeah,
All right,
it was
we're
fun.
signing.